Hello, good and faithful people of the Church of the Mediator. It's Father Dale. Hope you're well whenever and wherever it is you hear this message this week. My question for you, my friends, is what is Kingdomtide? Of course, I will give you a few announcements before I go there. First and foremost is to remind you to invite folks you know to order lasagna and tickets for our Anthony and Dale in concert. Anthony and I were practicing yesterday. I think it's going to be a pretty good concert. Lots of Schubert, some art songs, some French art songs, some of Burleigh's settings of African American spirituals, and some Broadway as well, Rodgers and Hammerstein. So it'll be a nice mix of things. I think there'll be a couple of solo piano pieces in there as well from yours truly. So please encourage folks. Remember, the deadline for lasagna is this Sunday. We will have folks here to sell you lasagna after church. You can use your credit card, or you can bring a check, or you can pay in cash. But we're hoping, we've got about 25 orders right now, and we're hoping to sell 100 orders of lasagna. So please invite folks to participate in these fundraisers, because one of the ideas behind these fundraisers is to help the parish raise funds without having to put additional burden on parishioners to provide them. And of course, you all end up buying a lot of these things anyways, and benefiting, I hope, from them as well, because the lasagna is going to be very good, as will the concert. But it is also an invitation to people in the community to support Mediator's mission and ministry, and get a little something in return. I did have one of the neighborhood kids go along and put flyers for lasagna on the front porches of all the houses in the neighborhood. So I hope we'll have some neighborhood folks buying lasagna as well. But this Sunday, and if you're struggling with the technology of any of that, please just give a call or email me or Eurydice. We will make sure that you get signed up for tickets or for lasagna one way or the other, my friends. This weekend, we have our regular 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. in Spanish. Following the 9 a.m., we have Adult Forum. And my hope, oh, look how beautiful the sun is coming through, shining through this western side of the nave right now. It's a bright and shiny moment. Following the 9 a.m., we will have Adult Forum. My hope is that forum will be about preservation of Allentown's historic architecture. I have not been able to nail that quite down yet, but I'm hoping to have that done by this afternoon. In any case, there will be an adult forum, and it should be on some interesting topic. I hope you'll plan to stay after for that. Other than that, those are the kind of general announcements that I had for you for this time. We are working, of course, toward Advent. I was just working on my Advent letter, which will come out with planning and calendar. Please, we send out that calendar ahead of certain seasonal events. I hope you do take that calendar and put those things into your calendar so that you plan to attend those things that are important going on in our parish. Don't forget that Wednesday coming up, this coming Wednesday, at 11:30 a.m. is the seniors luncheon. If you would like to attend the seniors luncheon, let Eurydice know so that we can order enough food for that. What is Kingdomtide? So, this is not an official liturgical season, but the Sundays between All Saints and the first Sunday of Advent always have as their theme end things, just like the beginning of Advent also tends to have as its theme end things before we get to John Baptist and before we get into the Annunciation to the Blessed Virgin Mary. These end things and the coming of the kingdom are an important focus of Kingdomtide. At the time focused a little bit of the green season, the very tail end of the green season, focused on the kingdom of God coming and what that looks like. You'll start to hear that in the readings this Sunday. You'll hear about being awake, be watchful. You'll hear a little bit in Thessalonians about what it looks like when Jesus returns. Those kinds of themes, but interestingly enough, in year C, the third of the lectionary years that we're currently in, on the final Sunday after Pentecost, which will be the third Sunday of November, the gospel reading for the day is for Christ the King, the reign of Christ, kingdom, is Jesus' crucifixion in Luke. And so I'm standing in front of the 11th station here on the wall, the 11th station of the cross, which is Jesus hanging on the cross. This theme is showing us in the lectionary's wisdom that Jesus' kingship is not like the kingship of the kings of this world and the lords of this world. It's not a kingship of dominion or a kingship of coercion, but rather a kingship of salvation, of liberation, and of redemption. It's a kingship where things are turned on their ends and God becomes incarnate in order to die, and in order to rise again and give us new life and life eternal. That is the concept of kingship and of kingdom, which of course is a vision of the creation renewed and restored, heaven and earth knit together in one, where God's reality and our reality become one, and that is kingdom, that is Kingdomtide. And that kingdom come already happens, of course, because God's reality breaks into our reality all the time. But we believe that at the end of all things, Christ will return, and that unity will be sealed, and there will be no longer any divide, and we will live into that eternal bliss and joy and kingdom with our God. Blessings, my friends. I will see you on Sunday for the Mass, for the Eucharist, for the Misa, and for the adult forum. Until then, blessings.